Tony Ken, welcome back to me, welcome back to Thailand. Tribuluta here from Thailand. Hope you're doing well. It is 1 Angkar here in Thailand today, and it's a bit of a sunny and breezy day today. Freezing last night, again, we got down to about 20 plus degrees, and the puppy decided to wake us up this night. So, for instance, my partner up, Exeter, decided to put on the light, Exeter, incidentally woke me up at 3 a.m. So, for instance, it took me ages to get back to sleep, and the only thing interesting on the radio, etc., was United's game against Wolves. Which was, and again, for instance, in the mere fact that they could have ballsed that one up yesterday, which is unbelievable, it's just incredible. I think Saeed was saying the Wolves at United's level, well, they are, basically. For instance, United were 1-0 up, etc., and then they got it back to 1-1 before United actually went on to win the game. So, but but still, and again, it's just, unbelievable. But I also did have a chance to actually look at the FA Cup third round draw, which has taken place at 6:30 UK time. Let's go just for this game they were playing, and it appears that we got a good draw, haven't we? Manchester City at home to Exeter. That'll do for me, considering the fact that we've got the rags the week beforehand, so we can, and it's at the Etihad Stadium. We can rest players, we can see Divine Masaka, we can play it, and we can be fully fitted. Ready for the rags? Which is the weekend game afterwards. So that to me is brilliant, and I'm so delighted for the Exeter third round draw, especially when the likes of the rags, they've got Brighton. So they're going to have to play Brighton and then play a fully strength squad before they play Man City. Now I'm worried about the rags, etc. In the playing against the rags, it's just one of those things, etc. And again, for instance, you just don't know. For instance, how lucky they're going to get, but they've got to play their full strength squad against Brighton, and then even though in Salford, they're playing at Salford. That fact that they've got to where Man City can give all of our senior players a good rest, etc. For we have a good couple of training sessions. So couldn't worked out perfectly for the third round draw of the FA Cup. Anyway, so that was good news. For instance, what else was going on yesterday? I think there was just basically the fallouts of the weekend. There's still talks about Semenko. I think the world and his wife want Semenko at the moment, so it appears that he's top target for every team. But Bournemouth want to keep him, so who knows what on that one. There was also interesting news regarding. For instance, Omar Mamouche, I believe, he got engaged or engaged or whatever. I think so. Congratulations to you, Omar. So happy for you. Right. Now, for instance, I woke up this morning, etc. Turn on ESPN, and they had a Spanish reporter there who and he basically talked about the likes of Alonzo. It could be his last game for Real Madrid, because it's basically one chance to save your game. The mere fact that they lost to Real, Vallecano, and lost to them, and they lost to Real Vallecano, and again 2-0, for instance, and it appears that the mainstream Spanish media, La Marca, etc., said Los Blancos are in deep trouble, and Alonso, the players are not playing for him. Vinicius Junior said he's not going to sign a new contract while Alonso's there. For instance, they're complaining, even though they're only 6 points behind Barcelona. That, for instance, the mere fact that they actually lost in their current form at the moment and the way they're playing is a big turn off for the Madrid fans, a big turn off for the Madrid players, and it appears that, for instance, he's got his last game could be against Manchester City, so which is it's really surprising, and this journalist was asked basically, for instance, point blank, is he going to survive, and the answer was no. So and the person tipped to be Real Madrid manager is Jurgen Klopp. So there you go. So so we'll see what happens. So yeah, it's just a bit of a so the more and more I watch this game, heard about this game, etc. For instance, the more and more confident City definitely can get a result there, considering the amount of times we played Real Madrid, which is just ridiculous. And I'll give you the information. I think we played 15 times at the moment at Real Madrid, but I'm just going to go through the I'll go through it now, might as well. The amount of times we played Real Madrid, according to the UEFA website, if I can just find it. So it's just ridiculous the amount of times we played Real Madrid, and and the mere fact that we don't have the head-to-head with Real Madrid, we don't really have that that much. For instance, it's not, again, you would expect Real Madrid to be walking all over us, but again, it's very, very close games. So City have only got 4 wins, drawn 5, and Real Madrid got won 5. So the win there was a goals scored 24 each. So that was a strange one. So we played 24-25. Was a goal because again we seem to play them every season. That was when we were pretty bad last season. We lost 3-1 at Madrid, and just narrowly lost, etc. at home against Madrid 2-3, 23-24, 1-1, 3-3, 22-23. 4-0, that was when City in that prompt we went to win the Champions League. 4-0 and 1-1 at Madrid. 21-22, 3-1 at Madrid, 4-3 at home. And then 2019-2020, 2-1, 1-2 at Madrid. 2015-2016, 1-0 at Madrid, 0-0 at home. 2012-2013, 1-1 at home, 3-2 at Madrid. That's when we got knocked out the last final minutes. So the head-to-head between City and Madrid is pretty is quite significant, really. So, for instance, I was quite surprised to see that. What also was surprising is the amount of injuries Madrid have, and especially they do their defence. So this is what their injury lineup is so far. So they got Trent Alexander-Arnold out; he won't be back until January. Koulibaly knee. Mendy is out in a muscular late December. Alaba is out with muscular. He won't be back until late December. Hussein out muscular. He won't be back until mid-December. And Militao, massive player to lose. Muscular. He won't be back until late March. So they've got a lot of players out, especially in their defence. Now Man City also got a few problems. Kovacic, we already know about. Rodri, we already know about. He could show his face on the bench. You never know. But also we heard about John Stones, which is ridiculous. Again, John Stones out. So, but the mere fact that we've still got Aki, we've still got Kuzinov, we've still got Guardiola and Ruben Diaz, etc. For instance, and to help us as well. So, for instance, that's so we're not doing too bad as far as the injuries is concerned. But they have got a lot of injuries at the moment, and So, for instance, and so just popping into the match preview. 4 points from Barcelona, below Barcelona in the league title race, boosting just 2 wins from the last 7 games in all tournament, and suffered their first home loss of the season on Sunday evening. Real Madrid arguably hit a crisis territory by their lofty standards. To mere fact that they will actually lose is one thing. Losing at home to was it Celta Vigo, not Real Vallecano. So I do apologise. Celta Vigo. That and it is an absolute a tragedy. Everything had gone wrong against Celta Vigo. Did go wrong for Los Blancos, who saw their defence's injury crisis worsened. Attackers missing several promising chances, and no fewer than 3 players are handed red cards in the Bernabeu explosion. So they are, but unfortunately, the red cards actually don't apply to the Champions League, so they'll be okay for there's only a La Liga. From overseas and 13 wins from his 14 games in charge in just two 2 of his last 630 minutes of football, Alonso's future in the Spanish capital has inevitably been called into question, and dire results succeed with reports of alleged player discontent. However, the ex-Liverpool midfielder would undoubtedly be in control of the reins against City. Yeah, well, it could be his last game, where the 15 times winners have collected a pleasing 12 points from 15 on offer, although they're only scraped through by Olympiacos 4-3 on match day 5, courtesy of Kylian Mbappe's quadruple. So we're talking about our Leverkusen, our last game, etc. For instance, where we lost, expected the crazy changes, and but they only scraping through again. The last season in Champions League was good. It was that's the reason why it ended up at City, because we were both at the language in the in the bottom half, and I had to play a pre-qualifying match to get through, and then unfortunately we had to play each other. But they only scraped through by Olympiacos, and Olympiacos is not great. They also got beaten by Liverpool when Liverpool were supposed to be on the way back, etc. Nevertheless, the early victories from Juventus and Marseille at the Bernabeu means that Real heading to Wednesday's blockbuster with 100% record in the Champions League home game this season, and 13 of the last 14 group stage matches. Okay, ending victory. After overseeing the citizens, let's talk about City. This is pre-Pep Guardiola, because he'll have his press conference today. So Real Madrid form in the all competitions were drawn 3, won 2, lost 1. Man City's all competitions won 4, lost 2, etc. So already working around the decimated defence, Alonso backline crisis worsened when Celta Vigo when Ella Militao suffered a first half hamstring injury. One was to be certainly ruled out of Wednesday's fixture. Fellow defender Carvajal knee, Alexander thigh, and Mendy hamstring. Welcome Militao back into the treatment room. While Dean Huijsen and Alaba both face a race to recover from muscle strains, so they might not be back. Alonso is therefore down to the bare bones at the back, although he does not need to be concerned himself with suspensions, as Aldro Cabrera and Franco Casilla were both sent off against the weekend, will serve a ban in the Liga, just as said. At the end of the field, Mbappe is already hitting his playing well. Manchester City boasts a near fully fit defence. So we're okay. John Stones, issue there. So possible starting lineup for Madrid are Courtois, Valverde, Asensio, Rudiger, Cannavale, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Gula, Bellingham. I thought Bellingham was injured as well, but no. Vinicius Junior and Mbappe. So there you go. So now whether Pep will rotate, I don't know. So but the expected starting lineup of City will probably be the normal starting lineup. Whether Jerky will start, Reinders will start. For instance, Will knows maybe he'll change things round about, giving Nori a chance. But I think we'll see. We've got Crystal Palace on the weekend, and we've got to get revenge for the FA Cup debacle. And for instance, but I think, for instance, where United have beaten Palace, even though they won on Sunday, they are not playing very well, and even though the Palace fans are very, very good, I still fancy Man City to beat Palace. If United can beat Palace, somebody else, so can we. Anyway, so according to this website, they're saying Madrid, and I think typical City was saying the same thing yesterday. Johnny, he thinks that there's going to be a high-scoring game. There's going to be a lot of goals, but he's saying Madrid 2, Man City 3. So there you go. Even though Man City have far more defenders available than the extreme host, Guardiola's backline is still not inspiring confidence. So Mbappe will be well placed to take advantage. However, Real's rearguard injury crisis and stuttering recent form is hard to ignore, so the Premier League giants should fight fire with fire and come out on top against the Champions League. it's going to be all about the Mbappe Haaland competition, I expect. So what's it called? But again, so. But I say it's going to be interesting. It's going to, and I'm getting more and more confident. I'm going for a 3-1 victory in Manchester City. I do believe, for instance, we can do the job. I was happy with the point earlier, but now I hear so much again, and the mere fact that if they go out to Manchester City, whether the players are going to be playing for Alonso, we'll find out, and because they know a defeat could end up in leaving. So who knows how much committed the real players are to play against for Alonso. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Pep Guardiola's asked his team to do one thing against UEFA Champions League crash away against Madrid. Play like who we are. So there you go. Wednesday's encounters will be the 8th time we have been drawn against the Las Blancos. In the 5th season of succession, we have faced the Spanish side in Europe's elite competition. The highlights was undoubtedly when we won the Champions League, but 2 seasons of rival has been they've had the upper hand. So there you go. So we'll see. It's going to be a quadrant, yes it will be. It's never an easy place to play, yeah, of course. We missed an opportunity against Leverkusen. You missed an opportunity playing that crazy squad. Good players. I'm not complaining about any of the players who started, Mamouche and and the players who played, etc. It's the fact that it was too many changes and we screwed it up. I was especially playing at home, but I feel more confident, for instance, now going to Madrid. Because now we all would expect to go to Madrid, lose it, and then having to rely on the Galatasaray and Bodo Glimt games, etc. Which people are still going on about. Oh, it's the Arctic Circle, -5, oh, blah blah blah. Listen, I've lived in Scandinavia for 10 years. 10 years in Scandinavia, and I've experienced now -5, -15, -20 degrees. It's not that bad. So yeah, playing an artificial pit would be difficult, but Manchester should get the job done, even though other teams like Juventus have struggled. So but I'd be very surprised if we don't get anything out of the last 2 games. But again, this is football; you never know. But I wouldn't go on about the weather as the British people keep going on about and how cold it is going to be in the Arctic Circle, and it's going to be this. It's and honestly, just it's not that bad. It really isn't. Once you get going, etc. On more than one occasion, I used to walk around with a T-shirt on when I was in Scandinavia at -10. I used to be walking around. People used to look at me crazy, because it's my type of job. So I'd walk around with a T-shirt on, and people would look at me crazy. I used to work for a company called Louis Paulsen. I used to make these fantastic lamps in Denmark. And used to have it was a factory, and they had about 10 different units, and you had to walk between the units, and I would walk around with it, between the units without a jacket, in a T-shirt, and people used to look at me crazy, and I'd be like, you're a Falang, But now I'm in Thailand, etc., and I'm complaining it's 23 degrees and I'm freezing. So about, your acclimatation into your body, but there we go, never mind. So, okay, so in other competitions, well, I hope. So let's see what's happening. Let's see what this. Let's see what the outcome is. So what's good? It's got to be heartening. It really has. Things seem to be turning Man City's balance really at the moment. Again, we got the League Cup, etc. But we're playing at home against Brentford, even though it's going to be a tough game. So we got a third round, the Premier League. In the FA Cup, playing at home. The Rags are playing at home, but they're playing against Brighton. Before that game. So things seem to be coming our way at the moment. This could be a very good season at the moment. I don't want to jinx things, but at the moment, etc., we're not doing too bad as far as injury is concerned. For instance, and we're winning, and our rivals are losing, and people are starting to look at Manchester City and still moaning about the fact that Man City are not their best. But as what was his name? Craig Burley says, Manchester City are a goal-scoring machine. Oh, you never thought they would say that. So, and as we are goal-scoring, and our players are all chipping in now, apart from our wingers who need to do more. But other than that, things are looking good at the moment, and I'm looking a lot happier. So I'm looking at the ladies on top of the league, etc., in the 6 points ahead of Chelsea, and I'm looking at the men, for instance, doing well in the Premier League. And so as long as we need to rectify the Leverkusen debacle, etc., and get some out of Madrid, I'll be happy. So don't know about yourselves. But anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. True Great Life from Thailand. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you're thinking. What's on your mind? Even you can ask me about questions if you come to Thailand. I'll even ask you about that. So anyway, so people will ask me about my t-shirts as well. But yeah. Anyway, guys, going to love you and leave you. Take care, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.